You've got the floor.
Thanks. So, it's a tough game to try to really describe, but at the end of the day, we didn't play good enough. You got to give credit to Minnesota. They're a very good team. They have proven that they've been a really good team in recent, the last month for sure, since we played them at home and had a similar kind of defeat. I would say that in that second half, I felt like at 1-0 in the 70th, second minute, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for the draw. We're gonna go for the win. So if I have to look at myself critically, I would say that that last 20 plus minutes was really not anywhere close to what we expected. Making two positive attacking changes, but that's what this team is close to doing. They're close to being a really good team that's able to compete in this league against anybody. Tonight, unfortunately, we didn't get that performance or that result.
Thanks, Hack. We'll go to questions. Go ahead, Tom.
John, we talked during the week about just the difficulty of motivating guys at a time like this. Was that kind of with a 1 week layoff and everything? Think that's why they came out so flat in the first half?
Tom, I don't think we came out flat in the first half.
Okay.
I don't. So I think we played an opponent that tactically put 11 guys in a super deep block. And we had a problem in solving that. That led to a couple massive mistakes on our part, self-inflicted mistakes. But I don't think we were flat. I think the game was tactically a game where Minnesota said, we don't want the ball. We want you to have it. Try to break us down. And when you make a mistake, we're going to try to counter you. And we knew that coming in. That's just tactics in soccer. And so it wasn't a physically hard game in the first half at all. But that's not because I don't think the players didn't have the desire to go do it. They needed to problem solve their way through that game, and we weren't, effective enough in that regard.
So then were they, I guess, flat in their reacting to it? I mean, if they knew it was coming, there was something that was missing there, wasn't there?
Of course, but I mean, I don't, I need time to go look at this game and say, this is what really happened. And when I look at Minnesota and what they were trying to do, I don't think we took what they offered. I don't think, the first goal comes off of a ball that we don't play well. It's an underhit ball, leads to a counterattack from Minnesota. It's not like there was a lack of effort from guys getting back. It's not like there was a lack of desire, but that's part of a game where you have a team that is going to play tactically the way Minnesota, and we didn't deal with it well. So, we come out of halftime and we talk about solutions that we trained all week. And I felt like we were going to get back in the game. Give them credit. They don't give up many goals. If we don't give up the second one and we score the one that we did and it's 1-1, we're probably having a much different conversation. Unfortunately, we gave up 3 after that point. So yeah, it's on us. And I'll take all the blame and responsibility for that. But I don't like the idea that
Un placer, pero bueno, no nos vamos, no estamos en Líder City.
hey, Hector. I don't like the idea that this is a team that doesn't put out an effort or a team that came out flat. That might be what it looked like on TV, but that is more, in my humble opinion, the way of two teams that were trying 2 different tactical games against each other.
Go ahead,
and
Justin.
Minnesota won that game.
Yeah, Coach, I know we had not necessarily a similar conversation after the LAFC game, but does it speak a little bit to how just difficult it is to win on the road in this league against teams like Minnesota, like LAFC that are, firing on all cylinders coming into these matches?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't been good on the road. That's an easy one. So, we're here yet again, and this is not the way we wanted to end our season in any way, shape, or form. And but you do have to give teams like Minnesota a lot of credit for how good they're playing.
And I'm looking at some of the positives. Giannis Warren had a good night out there on, at fullback. And then, his long throw-in seemed to have a really big impact as well. Was that something that you were trying to, I guess, utilize throughout the week, or is that something that came in today as something that was working so that you went to the well more times?
Yeah, we knew that Minnesota was going to try, they have a long throw in on both sides, and with Giannis, and in particular with Klaus and Simon playing like 2 9s, we felt like that was going to be an opportunity off of, a set piece, if you will, that we could try to take advantage of. And again, had some looks and some opportunities off of that.
Go ahead, Tom.
You talked about taking momentum into the offseason. Does this kind of set you back on that front?
It depends on how we look at it, because if we look at it and say, hey, you lost away 4-1 and that ruins all the good work you did for the last 4 months, then yeah, but I mean, it's a game of soccer where we didn't play well. We didn't do what we're supposed to do in a moment. But it wasn't as bad as that scoreline looks. And so I don't think we should change all of the positives that we felt about what we did since, the start of July, just because we didn't win our last game away against a really good team. So no, I would say we still have lots of momentum going in next year. I think we're going to be a really good team next year. No questions about it.
And Chris and Indy, were they close, or what was their situation on them?
No, both of them, Indy took a knock in training on Wednesday, didn't train at all on Thursday, came back out, on Tuesday, didn't train at all on Wednesday, tried to train on Thursday, didn't feel great at all. We didn't even have him train on Friday. Durkin tried to do the same thing, didn't feel 100% at all. So with those 2 players, better to decide, just let them fully recover and go with the guys that we had a very good game in our last game against Houston.
We'll go to Matt Rocchio.
Coach, just specifically on that second goal, I know you haven't been able to watch film, but when Nielsen is kind of in that situation where he either has to step into the ball and leave the guy wide open to his left, or maybe kind of split the defender, is he supposed to jump the ball there, and is it just nobody being there on the backside to cover the other man?
We should drop in that situation. So, but the real problem was that when we made those 2 attacking changes, we put Rass almost like a winger on the right-hand side. And I think Tots thought that we were defending the same way, and we weren't. So he stepped, but there was nobody to step for. And that left it left, Kess and Joachim in a numerical disadvantage that was completely unnecessary. So it was just a mistake.
What were the instructions given when you're pulling Watts out? Obviously, you're going to change everything in the center midfield there. So what kind of were the instructions more defensively with Nukvi kind of being pulled inside? What was the plan there? I know you wanted to go attacking, but obviously, what were the instructions to kind of break things down defensively?
Yeah, we left our back 4. We decided to pull a keel and play with 1-6. And then we wanted to play with Klaus and Simon as 2 9s. We put Nukvi and Cello underneath of those 2, but we needed to get numbers in the box. And we wanted Giannis and Tots to just get forward like they normally did. So it wasn't a big switch. We were just trying to literally switch the numerical advantage in our favor, because, they were so hard to break down. And we had a couple chances, maybe not the perfect serve or the perfect, ball into the box, but we needed better numbers in there.
Guys, we got time for two more, if either one of you guys have one. Matt?
Yeah, just
Justin?
on the one of the last ones there. There's been a lot of goals this season where the back line has been outnumbered, more so than you'd really want. But tonight there was a lot of times where you had numbers and it wasn't necessarily a transitionary moment where the defense did kind of get beat. Just can you just comment on a frustrating game when it's not the transition moments that are beating you, but it's more of those slow moments where it's just you get caught ball watching like happened tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that has happened all year long, and we've corrected it and been better at times. We weren't good in the last 20 minutes of the game in that regard. But like I remember sitting here a couple weeks ago when we were away at LAFC, and the question was about, well, you didn't get a shot on goal, so that means you weren't very attacking. And at the same time, I go back to we're in a game and have all of the ball, we're in our opponent's half for so much. And you just, when you try to go for a win in those moments, you're going to open up yourselves. And then we needed to be better in 1v1 situations, and we made a few mistakes in that regard.
We got time for one more. All good?
You're good.
Coach,
Thank
thank you
you.
for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, John.
Appreciate your time, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.